Hello, friends. Welcome back to Penny for the Soul. Today, it's a serious topic. It's about Goa's forest fires that have been raging for 12 days in a row in the month of March this year. The point is, do Goa's forests stand a chance at all? Because the Goa's own forest minister, believe it or not, is a petitioner in the High Court against the notification of a wildlife sanctuary in Goa. So, what chance do they stand? Listen to the experts. Good morning, Claude Bob. I wanted to ask you first up. You were quoted in the local Herald newspaper a few days ago, where you stated that the Forest Minister of Goa, Vishwajit Rane, is a petitioner in a High Court case where against the notification of forests in Goa. And isn't it ironical? What do you want to say about that?
It's a fact that Vishwajit Rane, a couple of years ago, had filed a writ petition in the Bombay High Court at Goa for denotification of the Mhadei wildlife sanctuary. Now, that is a sanctuary that vitally affects his constituents. His voters are primarily upset with the notification of the wildlife sanctuary. And Vishwajit Rane has taken a stand in favor of his voters and against the wildlife sanctuary. Now, that petition has not just not been withdrawn, it is now on the final hearing board. We are interveners there. And therefore, we are wondering what is the stand of the Goa government now in that matter. Because Mr. Vishwajit Rane has now got a clear conflict of interest developing in terms of the government's stand on his petition. I mean, the government is now in a position to file an affidavit supporting his petition, which is for denotification of the wildlife sanctuary, because ultimately the government in the forest department today is Mr. Vishwajit Rane. So we are waiting for these developments to unfold in the High Court, but from all practical points of view, I am not saying that Mr. Vishwajit Rane is behind the fires. What I am saying is that his constituents know that their Amdar is himself opposed to the wildlife sanctuary for whatever purpose, political purposes, for electoral politics, whatever it is. Now, if they want to do something nasty to the wildlife sanctuary, there is an incentive because they know that they will not get penalized. Because ultimately all these decisions about prosecution against somebody for causing fire in the wildlife and all is all at the hands of the government, and Vishwajit Rane is the government. So any normal person would say, Galya mare, ulo galya, let us put, because nothing will happen to us, because anyway we have got the minister himself is committed to denotification of this wildlife sanctuary. So according to us, what Mr. Rane should have done was long time ago, the moment he became minister, he should have withdrawn his petition. Today he is in a difficult situation because his petition is pending and will come up for hearing. And at the same time, he is the minister. And at the same time, there is now an active fire which has developed in the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary, also proposed as a tiger reserve. Mr. Vishwajit Rane has been very ambivalent on the tiger reserve. And his father, who was associated as the chief of the World Wildlife Fund Goa, has been gone on record saying that the tigers are not original to this area but are basically in the nature of tourists coming from outside other states to visit Goa and go back, but they are not permanent residents of the state. And this has more or less been echoed by Mr. Vishwajit Rane himself. So either you, and then at the same time he says that I am a great lover of tigers, and it is my duty to ensure that they are protected and so on and so forth. So then in that case, why don't you go in for a tiger reserve? What we have been trying to persuade him is that you don't have money to manage the wildlife sanctuaries. The Goa government is bankrupt. They have not enough money for staff. They are not able to raise resources. Well, all that you have to do is declare this as a tiger reserve, and money will come pouring in, and that's what the central government itself says. You notify it as a tiger reserve, you'll get money for everything, for staff, for relocation, for looking after the wildlife sanctuary, the boundaries, everything comes to you because then it becomes a sort of a national institution. The sanctuary is no longer a local responsibility of the Goa government. Now the Goa government is resisting that. They have done everything to set up a wildlife tiger sanctuary in the area, but at the very last minute, the file has been kept aside and no further decision has been taken. And we have had to go to the High Court and file a petition for getting a direction to the government to set up the tiger reserve, which we are very sure we will succeed in. But I'm saying that petition has been on the court now for more than 1.5 years, coming up because of the paucity of judges to hear the petition and so on. So we need a categorical assurance from the forest minister that he is first of all interested in withdrawing his petition, and he has given instructions for withdrawing his petition. Secondly, he is dedicated to the protection of the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary, and thirdly, he is very keen that the tiger reserve should come into operation. Only if he takes these decisions, which he can take, then we can say that there is, the present smoke that has developed in these wildlife sanctuaries is not related to him in some way or the other.
बाब म्हाका सांग आता इतले फॉरेस्ट फायर जाले आसा तर तुका अशें दिसता की क्लियरली कितें तरी षडयंत्र आसा कोणाचे तरी पावरफुल लोकांचे की गोंयचे फॉरेस्टाक डिस्ट्रॉय करून ते वागूच ना आणि कांयच ना आणि मागीर ते मेगा प्रोजेक्ट्स ते करपाक जाता ते कितें तुका दिसता?
एकंदर एक मानसिकता गोंयांत सध्या प्रबळ जायत आसा जी मानता की वाघ जर हांगा आसा अशें स्पश्ट जालें जाल्यार हो वाठार जो आसा तो म्हादय व्याघ्र क्षेत्र म्हणून अधिसूचित जातालो आनी तेंचे जे प्रकल्प आसा म्हणजे खाणीचे प्रकल्प आसा किंवा हेर जे मोठे मेगा प्रोजेक्ट आसा ते जे हाडपाक सोदता तेका खंय तरी आडमेळ निर्माण जाताले आनी तेका लागून ही शक्ती जी आसा ही यंत्रणा जी आसा ती सातत्यान प्रयत्नरत आसा आनी तेंच्यांनी हे षडयंत्र आखलेलें आसा की हांगासलो वाघ जो आसा त्या वाघाचो अधिवासूच नश्ट जालो जाल्यार मागीर वाघ जो आसा तो एक तर महाराष्ट्रान नाजाल्यार कर्नाटकान वयतालो आनी तेका लागून मोठ्या प्रमाणात आगी लावपाचे प्रकरण आसा तितून आयज मेरेन आयचो 10वो दीस जो आसा त्या 10व्या दिसा सुद्धा 5 तारखेक मार्चाच्या ही प्रकरणां उघडकीस येयली आनी वन खात्यान सक्रिय जावपाक जवळ जवळ 3 दीस घेतले आनी तेका लागून मोठ्या प्रमाणान जी जंगलां आसा ती काबार जाल्लेली आसा लासून तेंचो गोबर जाल्लो आसा व्हडले म्हारूग आसा ते म्हारूग सुद्धा नश्ट जाल्लेले आसा एकंदर ही जी यंत्रणा आसा ही जी राजकीय शक्ती हांगासर कार्यरत आसा त्या शक्तीक दिसता की ही रानां जी आसा ही रानां विकासाचो एक अडसर आसा आनी वाघाचें अस्तित्व हांगा आसा हें जर स्पश्ट जालें ते खऱ्यांनी कायदेशीररित्या स्पश्ट जाल्लेलें आसा पुराव्यांनी स्पश्ट जाल्लें आसा कॅमेरा ट्रॅपान स्पश्ट जाल्लें आसा पूण ते मानपाची मानसिकता ना आनी तेका लागून ह्या काही लोकांक जे आसा ही काही शक्ती आसा तांकां फुडें काडून हो पुराय वाठार आसा तो नश्ट करपाचें षडयंत्र जे आसा हे पद्धतशीररित्या सुरू आसा आनी गेले 8 महिने ह्या रानांनी वचून मोठ्या प्रमाणात तो विध्वंस करप आनी त्या जाग्याचेर काजीची लागवड करप अतिक्रमणां करप ह्या प्रकारान वाड जाल्लेली आसा एकंदर हे चित्र जे आसा इतले भयानक आसा की तेतूंतल्यानूच ही आगीची प्रकरणां उद्भवलेली आसा आनी आयज म्हादय मोलेम महावीर खोतीगांव नेत्रावळी ही जी अभयारण्य आसा ती संकश्टान सापडलेली आसा आनी एकंदर हातूंतल्यान गोंयचे फुडले जे भवितव्य आसा वर्तमान जे आसा हे भयानक जातले कारण रानांक लागूनच आमकां उदक मेळटा रानांक लागूनच आमकां प्राणवायू मेळटा हे आमी विसरपाक जायना आनी ताका लागून हे षडयंत्र आतां सफल जावपाच्या वाटेर आसा लोकांनी ह्या संदर्भात जर जागरूक जावंक ना आनी ह्या गजालीक जर आडोवंक ना जाल्यार परिस्थिती आसा ती खूब बिकट जातली.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. D'Souza. So, as we were just speaking, there seems to be a clear conflict of interest in Goa, where the present Forest Minister, Viswajit Rane, is also a petitioner in the High Court against the notification of a wildlife sanctuary, the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary in Goa. And he happens to be the Forest Minister also at this moment. So, what would you like to say about this, strange situation?
The process of de-notification has been going on from 99 when the government came into power. As you know, the sanctuary was declared during President's rule, and thereafter there have been many petitions and even many efforts by the department to get it de-notified. But the Supreme Court has already clearly in its own judgment said that not even a blade of grass can be touched from a sanctuary once it is declared. So the petition is in the court. We don't know, but in all likelihood, it may not succeed, because once an area is declared into a sanctuary, more particularly now more than 24 odd years, I doubt very much whether it will succeed.
I want to, get your views on the significance and importance of a tiger sanctuary in Goa. Why do you think it is important that this comes into being?
See, in 2012, I had asked for camera trapping just to ascertain the presence of tigers, so that we have a record of whatever we can have in order to strengthen our case. Tigers in our census over the past many years before 2012, we have had presence of pug marks, scat, and an occasional kill. But real tiger presence could never be said, because we did not have proof on camera traps. So once camera traps started having tiger and leopard and a host of other animals, then we came to know that not only tiger was available in Mhadei, it was available in Netravali also, and it was available in Mollem also. As recently as a year back, now we have had tigers all over. And for your information, the Western Ghats, which is a very huge tract of land and a biodiversity hotspot right from Kerala to Gujarat, has the maximum density of tigers in India. Somewhere around 800 to 900 tigers are found, out of which 5 tigers are within Goa. Now, why is the significance for Mhadei? It's not only Mhadei. In fact, I would suggest that the core areas of Netravali, Mollem, Bhagwan Mahavir and Mhadei should be all made into a Sahyadri Tiger Reserve. That will be more appropriate, rather than restricting ourselves only to Mhadei. That will give it a total sort of protection of the whole area.